Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a Valentine's Day makeup look. It's going to be a tutorial on this look right here, so if you don't like it, probably shouldn't watch the video. Or you could watch the video anyway because you're a nice person. So it is the time of love. Because it is the time of love, I decided to put my dying flowers from my show next to me to represent my love life. I'm just joking, but in all seriousness, I hope that everybody has a lovely and beautiful, beautiful Valentine's Day. And if you're not in a relationship like me, you can still have a wonderful Valentine's Day and celebrate love. There is so much love in our lives that need to be celebrated. There's so many little things that you don't think about. So I encourage you to think of Valentine's Day as the day of love, not the day of relationships. I encourage you not to get sad on Valentine's Day, even if you're not in a relationship, because it's just not where you're supposed to be right now, and that's okay, and you need to accept it. And being alone actually does help you a lot in your life and just in general, because you need to have time to become the person that somebody else would want to be with. You know, some people just go from relationship to relationship just needing somebody, and that's not fair to yourself, and that's not fair to the person that you're going to be with. It's an opportunity to just be able to think about yourself and just to better yourself and not have to worry about bettering yourself for, you know, making decisions for somebody else and yourself, or just this is your time to just be you and be by yourself and just to find what makes you happy and find your passions and go after your passions and not have to worry about, you know, spending time with somebody or all this stuff, you know. Just it's a good time to just really think about yourself and make yourself happy. I like to think of when I'm alone that it's a sign that I need to be alone, either from, if you're religious, from God or from the universe. Just you're not there yet and you need to work to get there, so just work on yourself, be happy. You have to find a way to make yourself happy before you can ever even think about making somebody else happy. Yeah, that's just my encouragement to you guys who are alone. Just take advantage of it. Like, you're not alone, you're just not with somebody. There's no point in being sad about it. You're not there right now and you're not there right now, so the only thing you can control about that situation is your attitude towards it. So I say be positive, and yes, so that is my spiel. I didn't mean to turn this into an advice video, but hey, look is not the typical Valentine's Day look at all. It's not as like, oh, the light romantic look, but I might be doing a video on that, who knows, maybe, I don't know. But I really love this look. I wanted to do something really fun. It is a halo eye with like plummy pink, sort of red and pink and plum sort of tones and some glitter, and just, I love it. And I'm gonna stop talking now, and if you guys would like to, please subscribe and like this video, and yes, I hope you enjoy. I will see you in the next clip. Mwah. Bye. Happy Valentine's Day! Okay, so the first step is to prime your face because you want it to be nice and glowy and beautiful, and even though this isn't a very natural Valentine's Day look like some people tend to go for, you still want your face to be nice and fresh and dewy looking. I never really like the whole like really matte look. Already moisturized with the Garnier Skin Active Moisture Balm. On top of my daily moisturizer, I like to put the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer and the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. This combination is so beautiful. Alright, so now I'm going to go in with foundation, and for today I want to go for something a bit more full coverage because our eyes are going to be a bit more glam. I'm going to go in with the Huda Beauty foundation, which has actually been like my favorite recently because it's so full coverage that you only have to use like such a small amount, so it looks like you're wearing nothing on your face, and it's amazing. So literally, look, I go in with half of a pump of foundation for my entire face, okay? And that's why I love it, because it spreads so well and it's so full coverage that it covers literally everything with like no product at all, so that's great. It smells so strong though, and like I don't necessarily mind it. It's just the fact that like it might break me out, and if it starts breaking me out, I'm gonna be so upset because I love it so much. I forgot I wanted to do my eyes first. Well, I'm just not gonna put my concealer on, which is gonna look crazy because I put foundation in this kind of region because I'm going to drag my concealer down there anyway, and my concealer is so full coverage and I don't want to double up the product and make it look cakey. Try and put as little product on my face as possible and still get good coverage. I'm just not going to put my concealer on, so if any fallout happens, I can just wipe it away and then I'm going to look crazy for a little bit, but whatever. It's the process of makeup. So you saw the look at the beginning of the video, but we're going to be using, don't judge me, it's very dirty, it has a lot of eyeshadow on it. This is my Z palette from ColourPop. It just has a bunch of ColourPop eyeshadows in it. We're going to be using this because it has all those beautiful like plummy and pink tones in there, so I'm going to be using this palette. Okay, so before I do anything, I'm going to prime my lids. I have to do this because I have disgustingly creasy eyes because they're hooded. So yeah, I definitely have to do this. Now that I'm primed, I'm going to take my Maybelline Fit Me powder and I'm just going to set my whole eyelid. A lot of people have been saying not to do this, but I find that these shadows are too pigmented. Like, they are more pigmented when you don't set it, obviously, because it's a sticky base, but I like my shadows, at least my transition shades, to be really like smooth and like soft. So whenever I would go in with transition shades when I didn't set, it would be like really dark and really like harsh, and it's harder to blend out in my opinion because it sticks. So I still set my eyelid. Okay, we are back and my eyebrows are done. I promise they won't look this dramatic once everything else is on. It always looks really scary, but trust me, it will all come together. Alrighty. So now that everything is ready and setted, oh my god! Okay, now that my eyelids are set, I'm gonna go in with this shade right here. This is the shade Secrets. All of these are by ColourPop, by the way. I'm taking my Morphe M441. This is my favorite crease brush. So basically I'm just fluffing this into the crease just to add something there. We want everything to look really blown out, so you start with lighter colors so that and the lighter colors will be applied higher, so it just looks more blown out if you start with a lighter shade first. So since we're doing a halo eye, usually I keep my transitions, I keep almost everything more towards this way just because that's what's best for my eye shape, because I just have a weird like eyelid space to work with. So usually when I put things in here closer to my inner corner, it kind of makes me look tired and it just looks weird. But since we're doing a halo eye, you are going to want to bring it in further as well. Okay, so I'm also probably going to go into my Modern Renaissance palette, which is destroyed, but I love this palette a lot. Okay, so next I'm going to take a different crease brush. This is a G24 by Morphe. It's synthetic, so it doesn't pick up as much product. And it's a bit smaller, so I'm going to use it to concentrate the next shade darker in the same exact areas, just a bit lower. And this is the shade Soft Core, I believe. It's this one right here. Yeah, I'm focusing this like exactly in the crease instead of letting the brushes go a bit higher. I'm just really tucking this into the actual crease of my eye. Then I'm going back in with the old brush with no more additional product on it, and I'm just blending everything together really quickly just to make sure it's really seamless and beautiful. Okay, so what I'm gonna do right now is pretty extra, but I'm gonna mix the shade Stay Golden, which is it's like my favorite red eyeshadow ever. I love this shade by ColourPop, and I'm also gonna mix it with the shade Love Letter from the Modern Renaissance palette. You can just do Stay Golden, but I'm being extra, so I'm gonna mix it with the shade Love Letter, which is a bit more plummy rather than just red. I'm going to take a short natural hair brush. This one's by Smashbox from 50 million years ago. I'm gonna mix the shade again, Stay Golden and Love Letter. Tap it off, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna focus this in the inner and outer, corner. And I'm really just tapping it. I'm not really blending right now. And what I'm doing is I'm just starting it right here and going straight upwards. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take that first brush again and just connect at the top. Okay, this is what it should look like so far. I took a bit more of that second shade that we went in with, Soft Core, and we're just softening the edges again. I'm going to go on with this super precise brush. This is the Morphe 149 brush, And I'm going to go in with this plummy shade right here. I need to look and see what color it is because I didn't look. I just fell. Going Steady is the name of the shade, and it's just a plummy, like a deep plummy shade. And what I'm going to do is go in with the Morphe M149 brush, just tapping it in. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace the outer edge again. Just really lightly sort of wiggle it up the outer edge of those areas that you... Oh my god! This is why I didn't want to have my foundation on first. Wiggling that color up the edges of where you just applied the reddish shades. Going back in with the short stubby brush with no additional product, and we're just tapping that. We're not really going to blend it because we don't want it to move too much, that darker shade, so we're just tapping. Okay, so your eyes should look something like this. We're doing a lot of building and blending. Okay, so I can't find my concealer, so I'm going to take another one. This is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. Taking a bit of this on the back of my now red hand and a Ben Nye FB3. Just a flat brush. What I'm going to do is go straight down the middle. And then what we're going to do is just sort of blend out the edges. This does not need to be perfect at all. But you want it to be fatter at the base, sort of, and then you're going to taper it up. Okay, so it should look a bit like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with the MAC pigment in the shade Tan. It's a really pretty, like, pink rose goldy sort of shade. So I'm just going to go in with a flat brush, pick up some of it. You don't need a lot. And then I'm also going to spray it because I don't want too much fall out. Okay, so now that this looks a bit blunt looking and not the best, what you're going to want to do is go back in with that short stubby brush and do some more blending. So we're just going to sort of tap in the edges and sort of mesh it into the pigment. Now going back in with that tiny brush and the deep plummy shade, I'm just going to sort of deepen up the edge a tiny bit. And what I'm going to do with that plummy shade is I'm sort of going to take it onto the lash line a tiny bit. You don't want to use too much, but just a tiny little bit. And that'll just really widen the outside of the eye. Now I want to go in with my Stila Magnificent Metals Glitter and Glow Liquid Eyeshadow in the shade Kitten Karma, but I don't know where I want to put it. I'm just going to take this guy and I'm going to apply it sort of right here. Just lightly, right? And then I'm going to take my finger and sort of blend it out a little bit. The top of the eyes are done. I really like them. I will show you more in-depth close-up on them in a second, but we're going to finish the face. So I'm going to go in with my favorite concealer, which is the Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer in the shade Snow. Oh, and by the way, my Huda Beauty foundation, my Huda Beauty foundation is in the shade Panna Cotta.